Lennon with the Fight Report. Thank you for everybody for tuning in. Check out fightlete.com for exclusive MMA interviews. Click below to subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Follow at Fightlete on Instagram, at Fightlete on Twitter as well. Guys, things are heating up. But before we get to UFC 257, let's recap UFC Fight Island 7. What a great night of fights. We'll look at the main card, of course, but we'll also look at one of the essential prelims that got a lot of attention. That was Jocelyn Edwards versus Yanan. And seeing Jocelyn Edwards, this was her first time in the UFC. She is now 10-2. La Pantera looking excellent as she goes ahead, fighting out of Panama in her career. Big win. This was a debut on ABC. You know, this was the first time UFC was on ABC. Of course, the prelims on ESPN+. But against Yanan, who came into this fight 11-4. And also, this was her second loss to UFC. Third overall loss. She's 1-3. For her to go out there and still put on an incredible fight. You know, both these women had great exchanges. But Jocelyn Edwards was definitely impressive in the long run with a unanimous decision victory. And I can't wait to see more from the UFC newcomer. And Jocelyn Edwards put together the combos really well. Gave Yanan a lot of trouble throughout that fight. And it's great to see, a prospect like her just come right in there, dominate, and, going up to be 10-2 and very young as well, and 25 years of age. So let's look at Chirico. Actually, we go to Punahou. Soriano took on Dusko, Torovic, and Punahou defeated him by TKO first round out of 3 rounds. Great finish for Punahou. Soriano, who comes into this fight, obviously a guy that was undefeated, stays undefeated, and defeats Dusko Torovic, another guy who was undefeated. So Dusko 12-10-1, and Punahou Soriano now comes to 12-0 win streak. Very impressive win streak, if you would say so myself. And I feel like, he's just coming onto his own. He's 8-0 as a pro, but his current win streak, including his amateur career, is 12-0. And I think Punahou Soriano is going to climb up the rankings in the middleweight division, which is a tough division. Adesanya is the champion who's going up to light heavyweight. Punahou Soriano, I think he's got an opportunity to take on another tough guy as he moves forward in his career. Oscar Bajota felt that wrath with the left hook, and now Dusko Todorovic, he beats by punches in the first round, TKO finish. And I think he's looking to be this guy that's really going to be lighting the division on fire pretty soon. Alessio, Chirico, he defeated Joaquin Buckley by a head kick. And I didn't see this coming. I thought Buckley, who was a guy on two straight finishes, I had predicted him to win this fight. Defeated Jordan Wright in his last fight by hooks. And of course, who can forget the jump spinning back kick he did to land, UFC's most viral video ever. However, he falls to Chirico with that brutal head kick. 2 minutes, 12 seconds in that first round. I just think Buckley didn't get grounded. Like, what I'm saying is I think he was a little bit too loose to start, but just never got it going. And Chirico was exchanging from early on. It still seemed like it was going to be a battle, maybe more of a technical fight. But Chirico, he got that huge head kick. Now 13-5, and for Chirico, he snapped a 2-3 fight losing streak with that fight as well. So a big win for him. Alessio Chirico, he's the only other Italian that's notable in UFC besides Marvin Vettori. So as far as male fighters are concerned, very, very impressive victory for him. Jianliang took on Santiago Ponzinibbio. Santiago had not been in the UFC since 2018, a win over Neil Magny. We had not seen him back in the octagon since then. It had been a while, right? That was November 2018. So now, a little over 2 years later, he comes back. Injuries aside, Jianliang, who I predicted to win this fight, was a big underdog, right? But I felt like his last loss against Neil Magny was a close fight. And his previous 3 fights were two of those previous 3 fights were finishes. He's a finisher. He's a guy that's got unmatched power. And guess what? He put it together with a big victory. Jianliang is ready to take on the top contenders in this welterweight division. He is a tough dude. Can't wait to see him come back in that cage very soon. He did call out someone. I forget who it was, but I believe he called out somebody. And but he's just a guy that, you look at, he's very impressive. He's all the way around. One of the greatest fighters that come out of the People's Republic of China. Obviously most notable as well. And he is ready, man. He is ready to come back there and, come back and ready to fight again. It had been a while since March of 2020. So this was a huge win for him, almost a year later, coming back with the UFC and getting that win done here on Fight Island as well. So, yeah, I'm impressed with him. And I had him win this fight for a reason. I felt like that he was just more solid. I think Ponzinibbio, the time off, the injuries may have occurred to him. But you never know what happens to these fighters or what mindset they're in. I just felt like Jianliang was going to come in there and at least for last Saturday night was going to get that finish and not let anyone stop him. I really felt like he was the more powerful striker, and he proved it. Carlos Condit, Matt Brown, 3 rounds this fight went. Matt Brown had some success early on with some top game. However, Carlos Condit really managed to push that pace of the fight. It was competitive, wasn't the most exciting fight for two guys, who are almost, getting up there in age. Obviously, Matt Brown, who's 40 years of age. You got to wonder if this is his last fight. I personally don't think so. I think he's going to get another one, but now he's got 2 losses in a row. Miguel Baeza, that huge knockout back in May, and now to kick things off in 2021, a loss to Carlos Condit. A fight that, obviously was a winnable fight for him, a guy that's closer in age. He's been taking on some younger guys. For Carlos Condit now, moves up there. 2 wins in a row after defeating Court McGee by unanimous decision in October of last year, and now Matt Brown. So after 5 straight losses and still being kept in UFC, I think he had a lot to prove, and he's shown it so far. And the Natural Born Killer, I think he fits right in there. You can put him against a rookie. You can put not rookie, but you can put him against a younger prospect at this point. A battle with another aging veteran, he's game. The Natural Born Killer, he's not going to go away that easily at all. The main event, we get to Max Holloway, Calvin Kattar. Max Holloway surprised us, and I had Calvin winning this fight. I thought he was younger, a bit quicker. Not necessarily quicker in terms of Max. Max is hard to match. I just felt that the pressure, quicker in terms of the amount of pressure he was going to put on Max Holloway early on. Boy, I didn't see that coming, and Kattar's 2-fight win streak comes to end. Holloway getting it done. I mean, just the beating he was putting on Ige, and Ige was taking it and kept coming forward. There was many fight-ending sequences and possible finish scenarios, but my hat's off to Calvin Kattar to stay in that fight and still that punishment that Max leveled him with. Unbelievable. I think Max Holloway is the pound for pound, like one of the greats. He's not going to go away that easily. And I didn't see him dominating Calvin Kattar. I thought it was going to be a close fight, but I knew Max Holloway is definitely not going to let this go away that easily. And, when you got 10-8 rounds as well, that's huge. So, because one of the judges scored it 10-8. Actually, 2 of the judges scored both the second and the 4th round 10-8. But all 3 judges scored that, the second and the 4th round 10-8. So he got 2 10-8 rounds that he was just purely dominating. Just taking it was Calvin Kattar in that fight, man. Calvin landed some punches, and you could see Max Holloway's face. It was fight of the night for a reason, but it was still a one-sided fight. Kattar just couldn't put the combinations together. He couldn't get Max to react the way he gets other guys to react to his pressure. Max Holloway just elusive, man. And that one point where he was bobbing, weaving, and ducking reminded me of Muhammad Ali. Like, how is Kattar missing him just by him ducking and bobbing? Amazing performance. And Max Holloway, we'll see what happens. Obviously, he's waiting for the winner of Volkanovski Ortega. Once that fight is out of the way, we'll see what's up there for him. I'd like to see him personally against a guy like Yair Rodriguez, maybe Zabit. We'll see. Magomed Sharipov, we'll see. I think Max Holloway's got plenty of fights left for him at 145 pounds to keep him busy as well. So I think that he has, he's looked great. He looked great. Like, he didn't even spar for this fight, and he looked amazing for a guy that didn't spar. Like, it makes you wonder, like, maybe sparring less is the key. Not taking that damage early on, just preparing for that fight, but not taking that damage, during a training camp and being fresher. But he's a guy that goes ahead and studies his opponents well. The game plan's pretty brought to him, but the one thing he can do is make those adjustments on the fly. He knows how to get that distance, that range, close in, and then leap right back out, get minimum damage, but then just keeps going at it. He just keeps going at it. It was just frustrating. Like, I'm watching that fight, and I'm like, that kid would do more than that. Just getting punched in the face rapidly, like, almost every second of the round. It's just, like, so frustrating, you know what I mean? Like, Kattar could not level him, could not get to that level that he was operating on. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, Max Holloway, man, should never win against him. And I picked Max to win the last fight against Volkanovski, too. So it's one of those things. And that was a close one that he dropped, but many fans had him winning that fight. So I think Max is blessed, right? We're blessed to have Max back at the featherweight division. It's going to be exciting. So this is it for the Fight Report. Remember, hit subscribe on YouTube, at Fightlete on Instagram, on Fightlete on Spreaker.com/user/Fightlete for all of our audio podcasts as well. Head over to Fightlete.com for exclusive interviews. I'm your host, Sean Lennon. Enjoy UFC 257. I'm out.